So what I'm going to suggest you do in a situation like that, first of all, don't get eyeball to eyeball, face to face with somebody like that. Bigger or smaller, doesn't matter. You've got to have some distance. You've got to be either like this, maybe like this. This is one of the methods I was taught, is just staying like this. Is very non-intimidating, but most people get that yang energy going, man, they want to get in a fight. See, two yang energies in a fight, the aggressor, the stronger, the person that can persist is going to win. You've got a yin energy, it starts to diffuse the situation. In a situation where you've got somebody that's even trying to accost you, they're trying to mug you or whatever, and they're coming at you with intimidation, you always feint or fake fear, you see, and say, I'm sorry, what can I do? Now, when you're in a position like this looks very non-intimidating, but you'll notice I'm kind of standing off, so my groin's really away, my knees are bent, so I really don't have many targets out there, and I'm kind of protected. I could actually block with this hand, you see, coming out this way. Even if I have my arms folded, I can get my arms out a lot quicker than if I'm in a situation like this. Your situation like this, I mean, you get a big guy, he could grab your arms, pick you up, and bounce you on the ground, right? Suplex you or whatever it's called, right? And so that's why you want to stand here, because you could take your fist and you could smack with a backhand. You could take that. This is a nice, right there. See that notch right there? That's a nice pressure point spot. That's called almost instant knockout, okay, when you use that bone. And when you're standing like this, real simple. I don't have to look. I know where he's at. If he's shorter, obviously taller, whatever. So that's what you want to do. And how would that smaller guy be able to take deliberate action against a bigger guy? How does any smaller guy take deliberate action against a bigger guy? It's mentality. I've always had this thing, and my instructor, Sifu Jones, has always helped me work through my fear of facing larger opponents. Because when you're a shorter guy, that's like your biggest thing. Like, what do I do against a shorter opponent? I remember taking a seminar with Paul Vunak, who's a very famous Jeet Kune Do instructor, and that's what I said to him. And who do you think he put me up against the next? Like the biggest dude in the room. And I learned that there's energies that you can use against the big guy. It's not always to say a big good guy against a little good guy. A big guy's probably going to win. So if you're a smaller guy or same size, you've got to use some tactics. And the tactics that I always say, hit first, hit fast, and keep hitting. Hit first, hit fast, and keep hitting. That is the way to go about it. And so if I'm here and somebody's intimidating, what are my first strikes going to be? If it's a lethal situation, I'm going to go to the eyes. Because nobody likes getting poked in the eyes. But here's the thing with getting poked in the eyes, is you have to have the mentality that you are willing to stick your fingers in somebody's eye. Because remember this, when it's go time, when it's time to unleash your fury, you can't have a second thought and be like, some guys will punch somebody and like as if they're looking for a reaction. Like you'll notice on the video, the big guy slaps the little dude in the face. Now, if the big guy really, really wanted to take that dude over, he would have slapped him and then followed it up, headbutts, whatever the case might be. But it was more of an intimidation factor, you see. Now, if the little guy would have just came back up after the shock of the strike and just started, going forward, he could have gotten some good shots in. That's how you beat an opponent. Hit first, hit fast, and keep hitting. When you hit first, okay, it shocks the system, you see. What most people do is they strike, and then it's kind of like they wait and see. Hey, did I knock him out in one shot? That's not the mentality. The mentality is hit first, hit fast, keep hitting. So, first, see that? I mean, you're on the guy. You're going to pummel him until he's down. And then you just keep going. I know it sounds brutal, but if you want to win a fight, that's how you win it. If you ever look at a street fighter, that's what they do. They take care of business real quick. They don't mess around with punching somebody and then getting back. If you really want to win a fight, hit first, hit fast, keep hitting. That's the bottom line. Now, like I said, stand in this type of position, feign the fear. Now, the other thing is groin. Groin, elbow is always a good shot. Now, obviously, if you're at distance, groin shot here, could be a knee shot. Again, if it's a lethal situation, fingers to the eyes. When I used to teach women, The biggest thing that I would teach women, and if you're a woman watching this, I want you to think about this as a self-defense precaution, is start to mentally prepare yourself that if you had to stick your fingers into somebody's eyes, you would do so, and you would do it violently. I know that sounds very scary, that sounds very intimidating, and it's ugly, and you don't want to do that. But in a real self-defense situation, you have to do what is deliberate action and is going to get you out of the situation. If somebody's bent on your destruction or trying to harm you, you need to take action. Eyes are really one of the best targets to go after. You can take your claw and you can stick it right in somebody's eyes and just jam them in there. That's a disgusting thought. But in self-defense, it's preservation. But see, if you don't think about that, you won't do it. Most people won't think about it. Only reason being is even though they're being attacked, they're thinking, oh, that's disgusting, I can't do that. And they don't even think about it. And so self-defense is all about knowing where your first strikes are going to be, more so than having a flashy technique. If you know your first strike's to the throat, if your first strike is, chop to the neck, I've talked to people where their favorite punch is right to the neck. Just come up there like that. And that has a tendency to really take somebody off balance. You go to the neck and go right in, you see. And these are real self-defense techniques. They don't require a lot of practice per se, but they require mental training, or what's called muscle memory, and knowing that if you're in a situation, you know exactly where you're going to go. And that smaller guy was intimidated. He didn't know where he was going to go. If he did, he could have actually beaten the bigger guy. There's no doubt about it. Intimidating, yes, but hit first, hit fast, keep hitting. Think of it this way. Even if you're smaller, if you practice your punches and you learn how to punch the different areas of the body as you're going around here, you see, you get good at doing this type of thing, and just practice, is you realize punches are like bullets. I mean, a shotgun is a blast of tiny little pellets. Hundreds of tiny little pellets that shoot out and spray out. And the reason they do the damage is not that one little pellet, because you took a BB gun and shot somebody, yeah, it would hurt. Unless you hit a vital point, it wouldn't kill them, right? But when you take that shotgun explosion, all those pellets, man, it's devastating. Well, that's the same thing with punching. That's the same thing. That's why you hit first, hit fast, and keep hitting. That's why you're doing multiple punches. You don't just do one punch and hope that that's going to deter the person, because it generally speaking won't. You strike and then you go forward and you do whatever else you have to do in order to take care of the situation. I just thought I would share that information with you. After seeing that video, I thought, man, how can I use this to maybe provide some instruction for people? And if you've got stories that you have on it, please send them to us. If you're not into self-defense, this is not meant to be sent as trying to teach you to be aggressive or violent or anything like that. We don't believe in that. But I just wanted to show that to you. But more importantly, I wanted to show you the energy, because even in a situation of an argument, if somebody's yanging out at you, yelling, like the thing I do with my wife all the time is she's yelling, I go soft. I'm sorry. It's my fault. She can't do anything about that. She has to lower down. You see? She has to. And the same thing is true in a confrontation. If somebody's really coming at you, I'm sorry. Hey, I didn't mean to do that. Now, our natural instinct is to be tough guys and tough girls and not be intimidated by somebody and try to be the tougher person. Like, oh yeah, you're looking at me, that kind of thing. That's false bravado. If you're going to do that, just take action. Just start punching. Don't be fake. If somebody's coming at you and intimidate, nice. Be relaxed. I'm sorry. It was my mistake. I'm sorry. I wasn't really looking at your girlfriend. Whatever the case might be. It's the energy. And learn how to use those energies. You'll see next time you get in an argument and you take and you diffuse it by using the energy against that, you're going to notice a great result. And you'll notice in that video that the smaller guy was trying to go yang with the big guy, and man, it wasn't working for that dude. So anyway, I hope this information helps you out. And that if you have a comment, just comment right here on the blog. Would love to hear your comments. And Have a great weekend. So long.